it's done.
Sorry, Green.
Look,
I hope you're right.
Look
In the right.
Where would you like to begin?
I've been asked to pay visits to the ambassadors of Thélème and the Bridge Alliance before. Our departure. Their dwellings are not far from here. We could go there first.
Very well. You think Constantine will be waiting for us next to the ship?
I don't know, but it's certainly worthy of inspection. Your Excellency.
I have but my
well,
please.
Do people actually give...
Alas,
As this
in
as the
Would you...
will but
and
to eat
Could you give me your...
I but
it,
Could you give me...
the,
I will
but your
it is by
The Bridge Alliance.
alas,
it is
we
some
but you shall
And what of you...
if but
have you...
direct
I need to be going. Goodbye.
goodbye.
Your Excellency.
Lord,
I need to be going.
goodbye.
Come all! Citizens of Serene, come to me! You won't... Citizens, I present...
There he is. He's our man, no doubt.
His speech is well polished. I even feel like buying.
Ah, you're finally tempted. In this day and age...
Are there any nasty siren? Will you...
That.
Nothing.
We need to steal one of these potions and force him to drink it.
Brilliant idea, Kurt. Let's take a look at his cart.
To my house! Death to the Axis! Careful, Greedfall! You're wounded! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Have you finally made up your mind?
I happen.
Would you refuse?
No, look.
And you?
This might.
Yes, damnation. He got away. He can't have gone far.
Find him before his head ends up on a spike.
Think back to the note that we found. We need to take a look at the tavern. He won't leave the city without his belongings.
Sire, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I won't make for good company.
Locked.
You again?
Dr. Sahin warned me that you were an imposter.
I would.
Why does Sahin?
My wife's a fuck.
It is for an act. Are you not ashamed?
This-
But if
this-
so human,
I don't.
if
A small. The mob.
your methods don't.
So.
I'm going to help you
I
listen
swear.
very.
If we.
Please listen, I beg you.
If you want him to reimburse you, get in the back of the line like everyone else.
Believe me, I understand why you're angry.
Me? It's not money I want! That charlatan tried to poison us! I couldn't give a flying pile of dung for your pretty words. We're gonna hang him high! And you too, if you're an accomplice!
How absurd! I'm the one who put an end to his operation.
Well, in that case, help us catch him so he can be punished like he deserves!
He's trapped. He'll have to come out someday, you'll see.
And so you plan on waiting here? I do not advise that. All of you drank one of those potions, am I right?
You're right, we did! Tasted of death! I did nothing for me ulcer!
As for me, I only drank a few drops. And my tooth is aching more than ever.
Alas, you need only drink a mere drop for it to provoke paralysis.
Paralysis?
A terrible side effect. The symptoms appear sooner or later. No one is spared from them.
What? Are we doomed then?
Everyone. Except, of course, those going to see a doctor to receive the antidote.
What are we gonna do? The doctor costs a fortune. We're all gonna end up like statues.
Listen to me, everyone. I know a good doctor that will help us. Come on, follow me!
That charlatan will just have to wait to get what's coming to him.
The alchemist is now far from danger, at least.
Go and tell him the good news.
So, did you find...
I persuaded them.
Very well.
You are free.
I owe you my life.
I remind you to...
I have no...
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade.
I tracked down your man near the coin guard barracks.
Finally. Did you capture him?
Let's just say I put an end to his activities. His reputation in Serene is forever tarnished. Matters turned out a little more complicated than anticipated. He managed to slip through our fingers.
Once again. That man is part eel.
We followed his trail to the Coin Guard Tavern, but he had already escaped. All the same, you have nothing to fear. He will never step foot in Serene again.
We'll eventually catch up with him and deliver the punishment that his crimes deserve. Governor Burhan will be happy to learn that such an amiable legate will soon cross the shores of Tir Fredi. Thank you for your help, Excellency, and allow me to offer you this modest gift for your voyage.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
Alchemist is now far from danger, at least.
Go and tell him the good news.
So,
I perceive you. Your Excellency. I'd let Matt. Why should I deliver him to you? You deliberately hid the truth about him from me.
What? Might I remind you that you're in audience with the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance?
And you to a legate of the Congregation of Merchants, that you treat like an imbecile. This man is indeed an alchemist of the bridge, and he told me much about your disagreement of opinion.
And of course you sided with him.
Certainly not. I have no part to play in your quarrels. I just chased him from our city. Now, if you're still intent on placing him in irons, you need to capture him on your own lands.
How embarrassing. I should have shown more honesty in your regard. Please accept my excuses. And this modest gift for the voyage that awaits you.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
You're in. Let Matt. He met with all the
Governor,
I need-
good.
If you had any idea who I am. Do you hear that?
Yes, that's Constantine's voice. It's coming from the upper... It sounds as if he's locked up.
And I have a feeling that...
It's not possible just now. It's blocked. It's blocked.
man is going to bring the guard out if he keeps shouting like that. We should have got rid of him.
Don't be an idiot. It's obvious that he's a noble, a rich man. He needed to be taught a lesson, but it's better we grab some coin. With all those posters we posted, someone with deep pockets will show up sooner or later to liberate the rooster. He's making a great deal of noise. We could knock him out, or gag him.
Well, this has been monumentous, gentlemen, but I have more important things to attend to. An island to govern, treaties to sign, riches to expedite, and a demanding father to impress.
Constantine, it's me!
My dear cousin! Oh, my lucky star! Always there to pull me out of my fires.
I do what I can. We're departing soon. Your father wasn't pleased by your absence this morning.
Have you ever seen him happy about anything when it comes to me? You know what he thinks of me.
He cares about you, I know that. He appointed you governor, didn't he?
He is ridding himself of a source of constant disappointment. Enough said. Today we set sail for adventure. If you only knew how these river scum treated me. Do me a courtesy, good cousin. Now that we stand boldly alongside the brave Kurt, let's give them their money's worth.
They haven't spotted us. We could sneak out of here silently. We have a ship to board.
You've always been the reasonable soul. Don't you think these brutes deserve a punishment?
Yes, without a doubt. But don't you think there are more pressing matters? Kurt?
It is your highness's decision to make. Whatever it is, I shall follow. Death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! The merchant is there. To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Welcome! It's such a pleasure to have you seen it. Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Have you... Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Welcome. It's... Have you... Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
The merchant is there.
Good day, good sir. How might I be of service?
You can start by explaining to me why you refuse to honor the orders agreed upon with the guard.
There's been a misunderstanding, sir. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price has gone up since. I've nothing to do with it.
This is inadmissible. If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm just an agent. And I'm only obeying orders.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendant seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end, whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain. It's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
Following orders. Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agree to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You're demanding a second payment but refuse to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing me to madness. You understand now why I'm asking for your help?
I don't think you understand who you're dealing with. Perhaps I failed to present myself properly. Lord de Sardet, nephew of the Prince d'Orsay and legate of the Congregation of Merchants. During our conversation, you explained to me that your master forced you to commit a crime. That's regrettable, especially as you will be considered his accomplice in extortion, theft. You know as well as I that the Congregation does not tolerate such illegal activities.
But I'm only obeying orders.
That is a shame. Well, as orders are the only language you seem to understand, I order you to return the guard the merchandise, without delay. Unless you'd rather your master is hung and that you finish your days in prison.
As you request, my lord. I shall go immediately and ask that these crates be delivered to the attendant.
Now that's a wise decision.
Thank you. I was beginning to think this would never end. You're certainly honoring your new title. Bravo! The quartermaster must be expecting us. To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Don't you worry now. You'll get your merchandise.
You'll find all you need in our selection. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to see. Have you? Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Sir de Sardet, I presume. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Yes, we were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Tier Fredi as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less, illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd be best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Constantine d'Orsay, future governor of Tir Fredi. I'm enchanted, Captain. I am eager to board your ship.
Enchanted as well, Your Highness. I hope you enjoy your voyage. Are you ready to leave?
Not quite. I still have a few errands to run for my uncle. What about you?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tir Fredi. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office. Be back soon, Captain.
Your Highness, I'm happy to see you. Your absence this morning worried both your father and me.
Come now, Sir de Corsillon. My father may have been angry, outraged, or disappointed, but he's never worried about me. I am sad to have caused you any worry, though. Would you believe that I was rotting away in a sinister jail, guarded by thugs ready to kill me? Though still seeing double from last night's drink, I was preparing an ingenious escape plan when... ta-da! My dear cousin jumped up out of nowhere and saved me. I'm quite the fairy tale damsel in distress.
You might have refrained from the company of bandits the night before such an important departure.
Take away the risk and halve the pleasure, de Corsilion. It is the salt of life.
I fear that some of my teachings have been misunderstood. But you wanted to ask me something, de Sade?
What will be your official title on Teofredi? Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master. I need to be leaving. I have quite a few things to do. Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
I need to be going. Farewell. Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 death winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for lass now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you, the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Thank you, Lara. I need...
Strange story, this is.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this. Good day, tavern keeper.
Can I pour you anything? It's you. I didn't recognize you, my scruffy young pup. You put this place to shambles last night.
I am quite sorry about that. I'm afraid I let the festive spirit get the better of me.
Better of you? You broke everything. If you think for a second that I'm...
Come on now. Don't be angry about such trivialities. I'm certain we can make amends. Now, what can I do? The contents of this pouch should be worth your forgiveness. What do you say?
Forgiven and even forgotten, your lordship. Whatever can I do for you?
I'm looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact? It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite—
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I—
With respect, my lady.
Sir, are you ready to leave?
Not quite. I still have a few errands to run for my uncle. What about you?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nauts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naut. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can—
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Naut?
Our magic, yes. That only that. As for your question, others are sea. It's how the guild is.
Could you tell me anything about
it? Is a native. They were very friendly people. Well, I've also heard that there are a great many, but I wouldn't know what else.
What do you think of our port?
Thanks to your certain, it's a good port.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
Oh, how I would like my father to be implicated.
Yes?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nauts.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nauts. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nauts?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nauts as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us. This document mentions another property. A warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
I wish you a good day, Your Excellency.
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
A handful of underlings don't scare us away. Right, cousin?
Let's just try to remain discreet.
Sir de Sade, what are you doing here?
I've come looking for your son. The Nauts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Nauts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine? I looked into the contract that binds you to the Nauts. It was indeed you who ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble. I never would have signed it if I had known.
You should have thought of that before. Breaking the contract could have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Nauts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness would be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in the story, don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You're not leaving me with a choice.
Very well. Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Nauts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell. It's not possible just now.
you?
My name is de Sardet. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes. Even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seems so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
Sir, are you ready to leave?
Not quite. I still have a few errands to run for
My cabin boy, Jonas, is back on ship.
You do?
All we can do is plot a course. No one tells the wind what to do. I do thank you. I didn't think you'd go to so much trouble for a cabin boy. Your actions bring you honor.
Be back soon, Captain.